you what inspired the message tonight. We're talking about the one thing that really keeps you from getting to the next level. So I was registering for an event. There's an upcoming event that's happening in South Florida. It's going to be Tony Robbins. It's also going to be Gary Vee, as well as Robert from the Shark Tank. And so this is supposed to be a really pretty awesome event. Personal development event, and I'm a personal development junkie, right? I'm always looking to put myself in an environment where I can just pull away from my business, pull away from all these type of distractions, and really just see if I could just glean or get something that I could apply to my personal life. And so here's what happened, and here's where the conversation stemmed. So I had a friend of mine who sent me over a link for the event. And the link that they sent for me for the event was actually a Groupon, and it was a Groupon that would allow me to buy a ticket for the event for only $47. And so my friend sent me over the link. They said, "Here, Andy, here's you can go to this event with Tony Robbins, with Gary Vee, with Robert from Shark Tank, and here's a Groupon link so that you can go ahead and book the ticket. And it's a special Groupon ticket. It's only going to cost you $47. And so I told my friend, "Hey, thank you. I appreciate you sending it over to me." And then so what happened is we got off the phone, and then I went to the actual website. So I checked out the event. And then what I found out is that they actually had different levels that you can actually attend the event. And so obviously, if you are willing to pay more, you would get better seats. You'd have better access. You'd also be able to sit in on a lunchtime discussion. And not only that, you just would be closer proximity to the stage. And also you'd surround yourself with other people who decided to invest more. So my friend then circled back and called me up and said, "Hey, Andy, I got my ticket. Did you get your ticket?" And then I told my friend, "Well, actually, I did get my ticket, but I didn't buy a $47 ticket." And they're like, "Well, how much did you pay for your ticket?" And I said, "Well, actually, I paid a little bit. I paid about $500 for my ticket." My friend was like, "What? I sent you over a Groupon where you can get the ticket for $47. Why in the world would you go ahead and literally pay, instead of paying $47, why would you pay 10 times that price to attend the exact same event?" Andy, I don't get it. I don't understand. We're going to be in the same building. It's the same event. Why would you get your ticket and pay $500 for your ticket, and there's going to be all these people in there who only paid $47? That makes no sense. Well, listen, I know it didn't make sense for my friend, but here's what I want you to understand. I told you that the thing I'm going to share with you is literally one of the number one things that keeps people from getting to their next level. And one of the things that may be keeping you from getting to your next level. And this is something I had to break down for my friend, and it's something that I want to share with you. So I got a good friend. His name is Trevor Otts. Trevor is like a marketing genius, and Trevor's always just sort of marinating on thoughts and ideas and so forth. And there's something that Trevor has said multiple times that really resonates with you, and I want to share it with you. And this is one of the reasons why my friend bought the $47 ticket, and I went to the website and I ended up deciding to buy a $500 ticket. And so my friend just couldn't quite make it out. Now, here's what my friend Trevor Otts used to always say, and I want to share with you. And here's what he said, and I want you to write this down. He said, "You got to invest at the level in which you expect results." I'm going to say that one more time. You got to invest at the level in which you expect results. And so here's what I want you to understand, that somebody may just, in fact, just look at this and just say, "Hey, Andy, let me think about this for a moment. You and your friend are going to the same event. Your friend is buying a $47 ticket. You're buying a $500 ticket. Why would you do that?" So one of the first things I need you to understand is that I understand several things that are required for any single one of us to get to the next level. One of which is a thing that one of my good friends, Trevor Ott, said, is that you've got to invest at the level in which you expect results. But here's the thing that I need you to understand. Here's the thing that my friend doesn't fully understand. Number one, I want you to understand this, that the more that you invest, the more that you show up. So in other words, I want you to understand this. The way that somebody shows up who paid $47 for a ticket and the way that somebody shows up when they paid $500 for a ticket is entirely different. You see, the person who paid $47 for a ticket, they could get up that day and it could be raining and they not feel all that great. And guess what? They could just decide, I only paid $47. I won't even go to the event. You see, the person who pays the $47, who goes to the event, their cell phone might be ringing. They might have all these type of distractions, and it's no big deal for them to step out, get on their phone, engage in all these different type of distractions because they only invested $47. Well, here's what I want you to understand. The more that you invest, the more that you show up. The more that you invest, the more that you pay attention. I need you to get that. Listen carefully. The more that you invest, the more that you show up, the more that you invest, the more that you pay attention. So what I realized is that by me investing at a higher level, it was going to require that I show up entirely different. Here's the thing I need you to understand. That part of the reason why many times we don't get to the next level is because we're always trying to take the cheap way out. A lot of times the reason why we don't get to the next level is because we're not short selling other people, but we're really short selling ourselves. And so I want to remind you that when opportunities present themselves, that you got to be willing to, number one, invest at the level at which you expect results. But most importantly, you got to be willing to level up. And so do me a favor right now in the comment section, just put hashtag level up, hashtag level up. Because what I need you to understand is this. If you're trying to get to your next level, it is going to require that you level up. It's going to require that you deviate and you go away from the things that are just comfortable. It's going to require that you not just simply reach out for the low-hanging fruit, but that you're willing to stretch yourself so that you can put yourself in a different state of mind and also put yourself in a different environment. Now, here's the other thing that my friend didn't necessarily understand. You see, the other thing is beyond you just showing up differently, understand this, that when you invest more, you show up differently. You show up with a different kind of mindset because you've made a bigger investment, so you're expecting a bigger return. I'm going to say that one more time. Listen very carefully. When you invest more, you show up differently. Okay. And so what it means is that literally that you have made a bigger investment, so you are expecting a bigger return. Listen carefully, right? And so what happens is when you invest more, you expect more. I'm going to say that one more time. When you invest more, you expect more. And so one of the things that we have to be intentional about, right, when we're trying to get to the next level is expecting more of ourselves and expecting more of the experience that we're becoming a part of. So here's my friend investing $47 for the same event. I'm investing $500. Understand that I'm expecting more out of the event than he is because he paid $47 for the event. I paid $500. So understand, even on day one, when we show up to the event, I'm expecting more from the event because I made a bigger investment. Now, here's the other thing that I need you to understand. Also, when you invest more, part of the reason why I invested more was also for proximity. Understand this, that the success leaves clues. And not only that, but successful people tend to hang out with other successful people. And so if you are just simply sitting in a section where people have only made a minimal investment, then you are sitting around other people who have a mindset, hey, I'm trying to get a deal and I want to make a minimal investment to get in this environment. Well, see, here's what happens. When you decide that you're going to level up, right, and you decide that you're going to go ahead and make a bigger investment, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in greater proximity to other people with the same type of mindset that you have. In other words, you're surrounding yourself with other people who made an investment at the same level at which you made an investment. So what I need you to understand is that a great deal of success depends on proximity. Who you have around you, who's sitting to your right, who's sitting to your left, who are you having conversations with, who are you tethered to? And so what I need you to understand is this, that part of the reasons why also I chose not to just pay for the $47 ticket, but rather pay for the $500 ticket for the same event is because I understand the importance of proximity. You understand this, that part of you getting to the next level is about you closing the gap between yourself and other people who are also successful, closing the gap and getting in closer proximity to people who are thinking at the same level as you or higher. So you want to close the gap and get in closer proximity to people who are serious about taking their lives to the next level and also are showing up with the same level of expectation that you are showing up with. This is huge. I hope that you're getting this. Do me a favor right now. In the comment section, put hashtag proximity, because what I need you to get is this, that a great deal of your success, a great deal of you getting to the next level is going to require that you get into closer proximity to other people who are having the same amount of success as you, if not more. And so you want to literally close the gap between yourself and other people who are having success and you want to put yourself in proximity, right? We've heard it all the time. If you surround yourself with 9 broke people, you will become the 10th one. If you surround yourself, that same thing, vice versa. If you surround yourself with 9 successful people, then you will become the 10th one. And so that's why it is critical. It is critical that you learn about the importance of closing the proximity, getting around other people who have literally, listen carefully, surrounding yourself with people who invest at your level or higher. I'm going to say that one more time. You want to surround yourself with people who invest at your level or higher. And remember, the reason why I told you this is something that I'm going to accredit this to one of my friends, Trevor Otts. He said that you got to invest at the level in which you expect results. And so if you expect big results, then you need to make big investments. If you expect little results, then in turn, then you make very little investments. And so if you notice, there's a direct correlation oftentimes between the investment that you make and also the return that you receive. You see, if you and I both received a stock tip, we got the exact same stock tip, right? And if you made this investment, you are guaranteed to get a return. And if you decided to invest $100 and I decided to invest $1,000 and that stock performed well, who would get the higher rate of return? We're in the exact same investment, but who would get the higher return? The person who would get the higher return is myself. Now, why is that? It's not because I'm better. It's not because I did anything spectacular. The only difference between those two people was simply the amount that they invested. So I need you to understand this. You have to literally invest at the level in which you expect results, but you also got to surround yourself with people who've made the same level of investment that you have made. And so one of the things that we got to learn to do to get to the next level is we got to invest more. So do me a favor, in the comment section, put hashtag invest more, invest more. So we talked about the importance of proximity, but we also got to be willing to invest more. Put hashtag invest more, because the more that you invest, the more that you expect to get in return. The more that you invest, the more that you begin to show up. You understand that? And understand this, that oftentimes the results that you produce are going to be contingent upon the expectation that you place on the investment that you have made on yourself. I'm going to say that one more time. Oftentimes, the return that you have is going to be based upon the expectation that you place upon yourself. And so what I know is that when you invest more, you expect more, right? Because nobody, absolutely nobody, likes to just burn money and throw money away. Listen, if you are getting some value from what I'm sharing right now, I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the share button. Hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody that you are connected to that's going to benefit from this message. And so what we have to learn to do is ultimately we got to expect more. And so what I need you to understand is part of the reason why we don't get to the next level is because oftentimes we find ourselves becoming a little complacent. And instead of raising the bar, we actually lower our expectations. But here's what I want you to understand. Nobody rises to low expectations. I'm going to say that one more time. Nobody rises to low expectations. And so what it means is that ultimately you've got to raise your expectations. You got to raise your expectations of yourself, and you also got to raise the expectation of those around you. Listen, one of my signature training events that I do on a quarterly basis is for speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs, and it's a training that is known as the Master Storyteller Academy. I work with speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs, and I help them to be able to discover and really be able to figure out what their signature story is and leverage their personal stories so that they can make more impact and make more income. And so I used to have a videographer, really nice guy, that was the videographer for my event. But this year, at the beginning of the year, I decided that I wanted to elevate my brand. I decided that I wanted to take things to an entirely different level. And so what I decided was that I was going to go ahead and upgrade the videographer that I was using. The videographer I had before is a very nice guy, but there's some inconsistency in the way that he was showing up with the deliverabilities. And so what I decided to do was to change videographers. But here's the thing. When I reached out to one of the best videographers that I know, he literally quoted me 5 times more than what I was paying my previous videographer. Now, at that moment, I had a decision to make. If I was going to shrink and just go ahead and stay with my previous videographer or find somebody that was charging the same thing as my previous videographer, or if I was going to hashtag level up, right, and get a little bit uncomfortable and pay more. And so that was the crossroad I was at. But here's what I want you to understand. The moment that I made the decision that I was going to go ahead and invest with this other videographer that was charging significantly more, what I want you to understand is this. The moment that I invested more, listen carefully, the moment that I invested more, I literally at that very moment expected more. I expected more out of that videographer because I was investing more in his services. And so what it did was it caused me to have to level up my thinking, and it caused me to have to start thinking about what are some other ways that I could leverage these videos, right? So I could get a return on my investment. So the beautiful thing about when we decide to level up and when we decide to invest more is that it requires us to literally expect more, not just from the person, but also from ourselves so that we can get a return on our investment. And so what I need you to understand is this, that part of the reason why many times we don't get to the next level is simply because of the fact that we are oftentimes trying to stay within our comfort zone, and we're not willing to invest more and get uncomfortable and ultimately expect more out of ourselves. And so I need you to fully get that. And if you can get that, things will begin to shift for you. If you can get that, you'll begin to up-level your game. If you can get that, you literally begin to expect more, not just from yourself, from other people around you. So do me a favor right now, in the comment section, just put hashtag expect more, expect more. If you're expecting more in your finances, if you're expecting more in your business, if you're expecting more in your relationship, you're expecting more in your health, you're expecting more in your finances, do me a favor right now, put hashtag expect more, because every single one of us understand this, that nobody rises to low expectations. And so if you want more out of life, you got to be willing to increase your expectations, because it is once you up level your expectations, then all of a sudden you begin to show up entirely different. Do you get that? You've got to expect more. And the expectation of more is an automatic beneficiary of you investing more. I'm going to say that one more time. You expecting more is an automatic beneficiary of you investing more. And so, in other words, there is a direct correlation. Trust and believe. When you invest more, you expect more, right? And not only that, but you literally show up differently. Listen, if I decide to just buy a program or I buy a product, because even though I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm always constantly investing in myself. And so if I decide to buy a product or a program and I spend $997, or if I decide to invest in myself and I spend $10,000, you better believe what I expect in return at $10,000 is different than what I expect at a return at $900. Not only that, but you better believe the way that I show up, the level of seriousness that I do. I've purchased $1,000 courses that, to be quite honest with you, because many of us have done it, that I never even logged in. I never even went through the course. But I tell you this, I have never made an investment at $10,000 or more that I didn't play full out. I've never made an investment at $10,000 or more that I didn't follow through and do the things that was expected of me. Why? Because I made a higher investment. And when you invest more, guess what you do? You begin to literally expect more. So I need you to get that. So when you invest more, you expect more, but not just that, but when you invest more, you show up differently. You show up expecting things to happen, right? Because you have invested at an entirely different level. And so somebody do me a favor right now in the comment section, put hashtag level up. Like if this is your time and like you're committed to leveling up, if you know that this is time for you to get to the next level, if you're willing to get uncomfortable, if you're willing to do the things that are required to get to the next level, do me a favor in the comment section, put hashtag level up, hashtag level up. And so I'm going to be honest with you, right? I mean, the conversation I'm having with you is a conversation I've had to have with myself. I remember it was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago or whatever, when I was making one of my first major and significant personal development investments. And so, of course, many of you are aware of Les Brown, world-renowned motivational speaker, Les Brown. And he had a program that was known as Platinum Speaker Program. And this was a program that literally was tens of thousands of dollars, right? And so I remember meeting Les Brown, going to one of his trainings, and then making the decision that I wanted to be in his platinum speaker program. And then I remember having a conversation with somebody on Les Brown's team and them telling me the investment and me saying, okay, I'm going to do it. And then they said they were going to follow up with me on that Monday. And I remember when they were calling me on that Monday, I'll tell you right now, they had to call me about 2 times because the first time they called me, I saw that phone ringing and I did not pick up the phone because I knew that if I picked up the phone, it was going to require that I follow through on my decision and go ahead and send that wire or go ahead and make that payment for the investment that was a hefty investment. We're talking about literally tens of thousands of dollars, right? And so literally I remember avoiding the phone call the first time. And then the second time it rang. Then the third time, it was actually Les Brown calling me on the phone. And so, of course, I couldn't check it out. I picked up the phone. And I remember having a conversation with Les Brown, and he was just asking me again if I was joining the program, and he was excited about me coming on. And at that moment, even though I was very uncomfortable, I remember making the trip to the bank so I could get the money so I could go ahead and make that investment. And I tell you, I was super, super nervous. I was really, really scared. But I tell you, amazing things happen as a result of me making an investment at that level. Because what I want you to understand is this: not only do you expect more when you make an investment at that level, not only do you raise your expectations, not only do you begin to receive more, but let me just tell you, you yourself, you begin to transform. And so what I mean by that is that it's not just about the investment that you're making in the program and all the things that you are going to gain from the program, but it's also validation in yourself. You see, here's what I know. You are not going to invest 10,000 plus into yourself if you don't believe that you're worthy of it. You're not going to invest 10,000 plus into yourself, listen carefully, if you don't believe that you're capable of getting a return on that investment. And so what happens is when we up level ourselves and we get uncomfortable, whether it's a big investment, whether it's making a big commitment, whatever that thing is, that when we do that thing, that all of a sudden now we begin to show up differently. We expect different results, but then something happens within ourselves, and we begin to grow. We begin to stretch. And so I tell you this, I'm going to go ahead and call it out right now. There's some people right now, they're coaches, they're speakers, they're entrepreneurs. And the reason why they find themselves where they are limited and they're having to charge like small dollar amounts for their products or their services is because that if they try to charge more, they would have difficulty in actually trying to enroll people to buy their products and their services. And the reason being is because there would be a lack of congruency. You see, here's the thing. You cannot ask people to invest more if you yourself haven't invested more in yourself. So you can't be sitting here and trying to charge people $5,000 for your program, for your product and your services, if you yourself have never invested $5,000 in your own self on somebody else's program or products or your services. So what happens is when you try to have that conversation and you're trying to tell somebody why they need to go ahead and invest in your products and your program, the reason why that conversation is not going to normally go well and that they're going to notice that something just isn't working well in your conversation is because they're going to realize, you know what? Something doesn't sit well with that person. And what they're going to realize, what doesn't sit well is the fact that that person is out of integrity because they're asking somebody to make an investment at a level that they have never made an investment at. Do you hear me on that? And so let's just keep it real. Do me a favor in the comment section, put hashtag keep it real, keep it real, keep it real, okay? So let's just keep it real, okay? You cannot expect people to invest at a level that you have not invested at yourself. You cannot be trying to tell people that they need to up-level their game if you yourself can't recall the last time that you up-leveled your game. And so what we have to understand is part of what's keeping us from the next level, and this is the thing I need you to get. Most people just don't realize they got blinders on, so they don't realize it, right? Part of what's keeping you from the next level is the fact that you haven't leveled up yourself, that you haven't begun to invest more in yourself. And through investing more, you would expect more. And through investing more, you would show up differently for your conversation, for your next sales conversation, for your next conversation with the person that you're trying to enroll. And so at the end of the day, you can't be around here and you're just trying to pretend, right? You got to keep it real. People are going to sniff you out. They're going to know, well, listen, she trying to charge me $5,000. just something doesn't sit right with this conversation. I just don't. She just doesn't seem very convincing. And what they're spotting out is that, wait a second, you haven't made that investment. I'll bring it down for some of you first starting off. Maybe you're just trying to charge somebody $1,000, but have you made an investment of $1,000 in your own self? Listen, one of the things that I sent out to my list is I sent out a survey to my list to ask them a couple of questions so that I could better serve them. So one of the questions I asked them is, how is it I can best serve you? What do you need help with? What industry are you currently in? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you in direct sales? Are you a speaker? You're a coach? Do you want to become a better speaker? Do you want to be able to master your story? And then one of the questions that I have in there is, on an annual basis, how much money do you invest on your personal development? How much money do you invest on your personal development? And so I give a range, $0 to $500. I think it's like $1,000 to $2,000, $2,000 to $5,000, or more than $5,000. Now, here's what I want you to understand. There is always a direct correlation that when I speak to somebody or somebody on my team speaks to people who have applied for one of my programs, there's always a direct correlation for the people who say, I would love to do the program, but I don't have the money, right? Or I'm struggling right now. I'm waiting. I got to wait. My finances aren't right. There's always a direct correlation, because then when we look at their survey, right? When we look at their survey, most of the time when they say that they're struggling, it's always the person who says that they invest less than $500 on an annual basis in themselves. As a matter of fact, if somebody says that they invest between $0 to $500, now we won't even get on the phone with them. We will give them access to whatever free resources we want them to benefit. We'll give them access to free videos, free training, free this, free that. But they have qualified themselves in saying that, hey, I'm not somebody who invests in myself. And so most likely I'm not going to see the opportunity to be able to level up and improve my skill set anyway. So it would be a waste of their time. It would also be a waste of our time. Okay. So let's just go ahead and keep it real. Right. And so what I notice also, though, is that those who invest at a higher level, whether they choose to do my program or not, but those who say, hey, I invest between $2,000 and $5,000 in my personal development a year, or I invest more than $5,000, more than $10,000. Normally, every single time I get on the phone with one of those people, they're normally having success, right? They're operating at a different level. Now, the question is, why does that happen? Well, here's what I told you. I told you this at the very beginning. My friend Trevor Ott says it all the time. You got to invest at the level in which you expect results. And so what happens is there's a lot of us, we're expecting big results, but we want to make small investments. I'm going to say that again. There's a lot of us, we're expecting big results, but we want to make very small investments. You cannot do that. You got to be willing to level up. You got to level up. Do me a favor right now in the comment section, put hashtag level up, hashtag level up. And also do me a favor, if you haven't already done so, do me a favor and hit the share button, because I know that there's somebody that you're connected to. They need to hear this message. Somebody that you know is trying to get to the next level. They are frustrated. They can't figure it out. Listen, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. One of my mentors, you say that all the time. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame. When you don't know what you don't know, right? And even worse, there's times when people don't know what they don't know and they think they know, right? And so somebody's got to be the one to let them know, hey, wait a second. You're trying to get to the next level, but understand this, that part of getting to the next level is you got to level up. Part of leveling up is you got to learn to invest more, not in other people, but invest more in yourself. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whether it's around fitness, personal development, around your business, around your spirituality, around your health, but you got to learn to invest more, right? It's not always about just investing in your business. It's about investing in your relationship, investing in your health, right? Investing in those things that are most important to you, right? So you've got to be willing to invest more. And what happens when you begin to invest more, you expect more. And understand this, that you will produce results oftentimes based off of the expectations that you have for yourself. So I've told you this over and over again. You've got to make sure that you expect more. And so listen, if there is something in this message that's resonating with you, I want you to do me a favor, and I want you to just go ahead and put in the conversation. I want you to put in the comment section, put yes, Andy, yes. All right, just put yes. All right. And if something in this conversation is resonating with you, like you understand that you've got to get to the next level. You understand that to get to the next level, that if you don't do the things that are required of you, it starts to create internal frustration. And when you start experiencing that internal frustration, you don't show up the way that you want to show up, right? You begin to operate from a place of scarcity. You begin to get frustrated. You begin to hit your head against the wall and you can't figure out, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I get to the next level? And so what I'm trying to make you understand is that at the end of the day, you got to be willing to level up. You got to level up, right? I started this whole conversation telling you that my friend was telling me about an event that was coming up with Tony Robbins, with Gary Vee, with Robert from Shark Tank. He sent me over a Groupon. The Groupon was to go to the event for only $47. But then I went to the website and then I saw that they had better tickets, right? And that they had tickets that put me in proximity with other successful people, tickets that allowed me to sit in on private sessions and so forth for $500. And my friend just could not understand, Andy, how come you could pay $47 to come to an event and then you chose to pay $500? And what I'm trying to get you to understand, what my friend did not understand, is that literally you've got to invest at the level in which you expect results. It's something that my buddy Trevor Ott says all the time. And when you decide to invest more, you begin to expect more. And so listen, the person who invests $47 and the person who invests $500, they show up differently. They're in the same building, but they show up differently to that same building. Not only do they show up differently, but they're in the same building and they literally show up with different level of expectations, because you will set your expectations oftentimes based off of the level of your investment. Oh, I'm going to say it again. You will set your expectations oftentimes based off of the level in which you invest, right? So you want to literally, not only do you want to invest more, but you want to surround yourself with people who are investing at the same level as you. And so if you can get that, that will start helping you to get to the next level. So if you get that, I want you to put in the comment section, say, Andy, I got it. Just put, I got it. I got it. I got it. If you got it, listen, put in the comment section, I got it. And make sure you also do me a favor. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the share button, because I absolutely know that there's somebody that you know that right now they straight up need to hear this message. Like they need to hear this message. Like they are frustrated. They've been wanting to get to the next level and they can't figure out why they can't get to the next level. And they've been beating themselves up. They keep making excuses and they can't figure out why it's not happening. And I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you again, part of the reason why is because they need to get outside their comfort zone. They need to level up. And they need to increase their level of expectations, because you will literally produce results at the level in which you expect results. And you will expect greater results when you literally invest at a different level. Now, here's one of the things that I want to share with you before we go ahead and leave. I know that right now, this is specifically for those of you who are either you are a speaker, you are a coach, or you are an entrepreneur who provides a service, and you understand that part of you leveling up, part of you getting to the next level is going to require that you become more efficient and better at being able to share your message, being able to connect with people, and being able to influence them to go ahead and join your mission, to buy your products, to buy your services. So I want to extend the invitation for you to join me in June, on June 14, 15, and 16 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for my next Master Storyteller Academy. This is a 3-day transformational training experience that literally helps you to be able to do 3 things. Number 1, to discover what your signature story is, to help you to develop it, and to help you to be able to deliver it in a way in which you can influence people, that you can move them to action, and so that you can produce the level of results that you want. I've had all kinds of people who've come in, literally people who are entrepreneurs, who own home healthcare agencies, attorneys, people who are meditation coaches, to people who own IT companies, to people who are authors, to people who are full-time speakers. Listen, regardless of what level you're at, you can improve by being able to be a better communicator, being able to share your story in a way that connects with people and moves them to action. So I want to extend to you just a simple invitation. If you're interested in just simply learning more and you'd like to get on the telephone with myself or somebody on my team, I want to extend an invitation. All you're going to do is this. You're going to head on over to masterstorytelleracademy.com. Once again, you're going to go to masterstorytelleracademy.com. Now, when you get over to masterstorytelleracademy.com, all you're going to do is very quickly, you're going to fill out the very simple application. And right after you fill out the application, it's going to direct you to the calendar for my team. And we're going to go ahead and get you scheduled for a quick 15-minute conversation so that we can go ahead and literally share with you about the upcoming Master Storyteller Academy, learn a little more about your business, and let you know how you can benefit and then allow you to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to be joining us. Now, I am hoping that you're going to join us because I know this is a transformational experience. But I'll tell you this is only for those of you who are ready to level up. It's for those of you who are ready to take things to an entirely different level. You've been a little frustrated. You want to become more effective at being able to communicate, connect with people, influence people, and you understand that those people who are having the most success, that they've developed their communication skills and they've developed their ability to be able to craft a message that resonates and connects with people. And so I'm hoping for those of you who are tuned in right now that you'll make a decision to go ahead and apply for the Master Storyteller Academy so we can get you the details and be able to connect with you. So once again, I want to thank you for joining me on a Thursday night Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. Remember, I told you this whole message was about the one thing that is keeping you from your next level. And I believe the thing that keeps so many of us from our next level is the fact that we're not willing to level up, that we don't understand the importance of investing in ourselves. You know, Warren Buffett was being interviewed one time and they were saying, hey, Warren, you know, you've had so much success. You've had success in real estate and business and all these different areas. If you would look back at all the areas in which you've invested, what do you think is one of the best investments that somebody can make? And Warren Buffett said that one of the best investments that anybody can make is where? In themselves. And he says that it's the one investment that you are guaranteed a return on. And so if you want to level up, you've got to be willing to invest in yourself. You got to be willing to put yourself in proximity with like-minded individuals, people who are serious about taking their lives to the next level. And so I'm extending that invitation for you to level up, whether you're going to level up and join me for the upcoming Master Storyteller Academy, or if there's something else that you've been sitting on the sidelines that you know that you've been needing to do that you haven't acted on, I'm hoping that you're going to choose to level up. So listen, do me a favor, because I know there's somebody you're connected to that could benefit from this story. Go ahead and make sure that you share this message before you chime off. Share. And as a matter of fact, after you share the message, do me a favor so I know that you shared it. In the comment section, put hashtag shared. Hashtag shared. That's just your way, just like Roz Jones did. That's just your way of letting me know that you shared the message. So Roz, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you shared the message. Those of you who are tuning in still, if you haven't already done so, do me a favor, share the message, because I know that there's somebody that you're connected to that really, truly needs to level up. They need to level up. This is the time, ultimately, that we all need to level up. So Darren, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you shared it. Ross Jones, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you shared it. Christine Wright, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you shared this message. And so, of course, Sabrina, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you shared this message. And so, listen, we got to be willing to level up. We got to get outside of our comfort zone. We got to stop making excuses, right? And we got to be willing to invest in ourselves just at an entirely different level, because when we invest more, remember what I told you, when you invest more, you expect more. I'm going to say it again. When you invest more, you expect more. When you invest more, you expect more. When you invest more, you show up completely different. So Kino, thank you so much for also sharing this message. And so once again, I just want to thank all of you. Super excited. I'm going to be jumping on a plane first thing in the morning, heading out to go speak at Myron Golden's event. Looking forward to that. And of course, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in on the Show Up for Your Life motivational live stream. You can count on joining me each and every week, Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this message. And also, once again, I'm hoping for those of you who are ready to level up, that you will take me up on the offer and go ahead and apply for the Master Storyteller Academy so that we can get you the information and the details so that you can make a decision whether or not you're going to join us for the powerful training that's happening on June 14, 15, and 16 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hey, thank you, everybody. Thanks for chiming in. God bless you. Have a good night. Lewis.